Hello, ChatGPT. Here is Hasnan. I have some questions for you. Are you ready?
Absolutely, I'm ready. Go ahead and ask away, and I'll do my best to help.
My first question is, what is failure?
That's a great question. Failure is basically the lack of success in achieving a goal or an intended outcome. It can come in many forms, whether it's not meeting a target, encountering obstacles, or not fulfilling expectations. But it's also often seen as a learning opportunity and a stepping stone toward future success.
What is failure important?
Failure is important because it helps us learn and grow. It teaches us what doesn't work, helps us refine our strategies, and builds resilience. It also fosters creativity and innovation since we often find new solutions after encountering setbacks. Overall, it's a crucial part of personal and professional development.
What does learning from failure mean?
Learning from failure means reflecting on what went wrong, identifying the mistakes or gaps, and then using those insights to improve and adapt. It involves being open minded, staying persistent, and applying those lessons to future.
Why do people fear failure?
To anxiety about the future. However, with the right mindset, that fear can be transformed into motivation and growth.
Is failure permanent?
Not at all. Failure is usually temporary and doesn't define our ovary potential. It's more of a stepping stone than a final destination. With reflection, effort, and perseverance, we can overcome it and ultimately achieve success.
Can successful people fail?
Absolutely. In fact, many successful people have faced failure multiple times along their journey. They often use those setbacks as learning experiences and stepping stones toward their goals. Failure is often an integral part of the path to success.
What is the first step after a failure?
The first step after a failure is usually to reflect and analyze what happened. That means understanding the reasons behind the setback, identifying what went wrong, and pinpointing any lessons you can learn. Once you've done that, you can then adjust your approach, set new goals, and move forward with
Why
renewed
should we
determination.
reflect on our failures?
Reflecting on our failures helps us gain valuable insights, avoid repeating the same mistakes, and understand what works and what doesn't. It also fosters personal growth, resilience, and better decision making in the future. Ultimately, reflection turns failures into stepping stones
What is
for
a
success.
setback?
A setback is essentially any obstacle or difficulty that hinders progress toward a goal. It could be a failure, a delay, an unexpected challenge, or suffering, and can be overcome with persistence and adaptability.
How does failure encourage creativity?
Failure encourages creativity by pushing us out of our comfort zones and forcing us to think differently. When things don't go as planned, we're more likely to explore alternative solutions, try new approaches, and innovate in ways we won't have considered otherwise. It essentially sparks a creative problem solving mindset.
Can failure improve decision making?
Absolutely. Experiencing failure helps us develop better judgment and more informed decision making. It teaches us to analyze outcomes, consider risks more carefully, and learn from past mistakes. Over time, this leads to more thoughtful, strategic, and effective choices.
How does failure strengthen character?
Failure strengthens grit by building resilience and perseverance. When we face setbacks and push through them, we develop a stronger mindset and a greater capacity to keep going despite challenges. Over time, this persistence helps us handle difficulties better and
Why is it important to stay positive after failing?
absolutely it's definitely important to it helps shape our character, refine our skills, and ultimately leads to greater success in the long run.
What is self awareness in failure?
Self awareness in failure means recognizing and understanding your own emotions, reactions, and thought patterns when things don't go as planned. It involves honestly assessing what went wrong, identifying areas for improvement, and being open to feedback. This kind of self awareness helps us grow, adapt, and ultimately become more resilient.
Can failure increase confidence?
Yes, definitely. When we learn from failure and overcome challenges, it can boost our confidence by showing us that we can persevere and improve. Each time we bounce back, we gain a bit more assurance in our abilities and become more comfortable with taking risks in the future.
Why do some people grow from failure while others quit?
That's a great question.
How can writing help after failure? How can teamwork reduce failure?
In collaboration, diverse perspectives, and shared problem solving. When a team works well together, members can complement each other's strengths, hatch potential mistakes early, and support one another through challenges. Effective communication, trust, and shared goals all contribute to minimizing the likelihood of failure and maximizing success.
Why should you set new goals after failing?
Setting new goals after failure helps maintain momentum and focus, and it gives you a clear direction moving forward. It also helps rebuild confidence, provides motivation, and allows you to apply the lessons learned from the previous experience. Ultimately, it turns setbacks into stepping stones and keeps you on the path to growth and success.
How can small improvements prevent future failures?
Small improvements help by gradually refining processes, building better habits, and addressing minor issues before they become bigger problems. Over time, these incremental changes create a more resilient and efficient approach, reducing the likelihood of failure in the future. It also cultivates a culture of continuous improvement and adaptability.
Why is trying again important?
Trying again is important because it helps build resilience, reinforces learning, and often leads to eventual success. Each attempt provides valuable insights and helps refine your approach. It also fosters a growth mindset, showing that persistence and adaptability are key to overcoming obstacles and achieving goals.
Can failure teach discipline?
Absolutely. Failure can teach discipline by encouraging us to stay committed and consistent even when things get tough. It helps us develop patience, perseverance, and the ability to stick to our plans and routines, even in the face of setbacks. Over time, this discipline becomes a cornerstone of personal and professional growth.
How does failure improve problem solving skills?
Failure improves problem solving skills by pushing us to think creatively and adapt our strategies. When we encounter setbacks, we're motivated to analyze what went wrong, explore different solutions, and experiment with new approaches. This iterative process helps us become more resilient, more resourceful, and ultimately better at navigating challenges in the future.
How can we manage stress after failure?
Managing stress after failure can involve a few strategies. First, it helps to practice self compassion and remind yourself that a failure is a natural part of growth. It's also beneficial to maintain a support network. Talking things through with friends, mentors, or colleagues can really help. Engaging in relaxation techniques like mindfulness, meditation, or even physical activity can also reduce stress. And finally, focusing on the lessons learned and creating a positive action plan can help turn that stress into motivation.
Why should not we blame others after failing?
Blaming others after failure can hinder personal growth and learning. And when we focus on blame, we often miss the opportunity to reflect on our own role and the lessons we can learn. Taking responsibility empowers us to improve, adapt, and ultimately prevent similar issues in the future. Thus, fostering a culture of accountability and collaboration leads to stronger, more resilient teams and individuals.
How does failure teach emotional control?
Failure teaches emotional control by challenging us to manage feelings like disappointment, frustration, or even fear. As we navigate setbacks, we learn to stay calm, maintain perspective, and regulate our emotions more effectively. This process helps build resilience and patience, allowing us to respond more thoughtfully and constructively in future situations. Over time, this emotional control becomes a valuable skill for personal and professional growth.
Can talking to someone help after failure?
Absolutely. Talking to someone after failure can be really helpful. It provides emotional support, different perspectives, and often valuable advice. It can help you process your feelings, gain clarity, and even reduce stress. Plus, sharing your experience can reinforce that you're not alone and can boost your motivation and resilience moving forward.
Can failure improve empathy?
Absolutely. Failure can definitely improve empathy by helping us relate to others who are going through similar struggles. It deepens our understanding of the challenges people face and fosters compassion and patience. Ultimately, it helps us become better listeners and more supportive friends, colleagues, and leaders.
Why is self forgiveness important?
Self forgiveness is crucial because it allows us to let go of guilt and self blame, which in turn promotes emotional healing and growth. It helps us learn from our mistakes without being trapped in negativity, and it fosters resilience and a healthier mindset. Ultimately, self forgiveness empowers us to move forward, stay motivated, and continue growing.